From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2255, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, January 20th, 2021. For the second consecutive year, Hamvention falls to the COVID pandemic. Newsline anchor Jim Dameron in 8TMW.
With distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine falling behind schedule in the U.S., organizers of Hamvention 2021 have called off the annual event for the second consecutive year. The executive committee posted the news on various social media outlets on Monday, January 11th, citing several setbacks related to the pandemic, with the vaccine delay named among them. The posting said, quote, "We make this difficult decision for the safety of our guests and vendors. Those who had their tickets deferred last year will be deferred again," end quote. The theme for this year's Hamvention was to have been The Gathering. Instead, a Hamvention QSO party is planned on the dates the event was to have taken place. The organizers added, "We'll be back next year."
This next story is a personal one, celebrating one member of our Newsline family. Our anchor and correspondent, Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG, who teaches high school chemistry in Indiana, has been named Carol Perry Educator of the Year by the Orlando Hamcation. Newsline editor Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT, spoke to Neil about his commitment to amateur radio education.
Licensed since the age of 5, Neil Rapp knows better than most of us that ham radio is the best teacher.
Especially when I got into high school, ham radio helped me understand science. When I got to chemistry and when everybody else was having a hard time, I already knew my metric system. I already knew, when I got to physics, I already knew Ohm's law. I already knew, because I did all that when I was 5.
Those early lessons became the foundation for the path his life took as sponsor of school ham clubs in the ARRL Teacher Institute and as one of the founders and the camp director of Youth on the Air for IARU Region 2. For Neil, ham radio doesn't get old, it gets young.
Yeah, we do have youth in ham radio, and we do have kids doing great things with it, and there are some opportunities to, make sure that this continues. And it amazes me the kids that are really into CW in a time when a lot of people didn't want to learn CW, and that's what kept them out of the hobby. But they're also into all these cool new digital modes that are becoming more efficient and is setting the pace for the commercial radio industry and cell phones and public service, all the digital stuff. A lot of that came from ham radio.
His next project, a Youth on the Air mini camp that mixes science with the science of socializing.
What we're trying to do is build some of those social connections between the kids. And that's why there's a lot of Yoda time that's at an amusement park, at Dave and Buster's, at, this place and that place that may not have a thing to do with ham radio because it's social interaction time. The whole Yoda thing isn't just learning about radio and learning about technology. It's getting the social aspect there so that the kids know other kids. We've seen in Europe that perpetuates the hobby, that keeps the kids in the hobby.
So congratulations, Neil. Your well-deserved Carol Perry Trophy will now sit beside your autographed oscillator from Carol's Youth Forum at Hamvention. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT.
Congratulations, Neil. Well deserved. And also on a personal note, I'd like to thank the Algonquin Amateur Radio Club in Marlborough, Massachusetts for inviting me via Zoom to their most recent club meeting. It was a great night. Thanks again. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With Jim Dameron, N8TMW, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wellbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.